Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we're diving deep into the rich history and extraordinary value of one of the most collected US coins, the Washington quarter. You may have handled hundreds of these in your lifetime, but some rare editions are worth not just a few dollars. Not hundreds, but thousands and even millions of dollars in the current collector's market. That's right. It's time to count down the top 8 most valuable Washington quarter-dollar coins you could find. So grab your coin jar, and let's see if you're holding a fortune in your hands. We are diving deep into a story that has stunned collectors and investors alike. Imagine owning a coin so rare that it could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that right. The 1972 Washington quarter dollar is making headlines and could be worth as much as $1.13 million. Let us explore how a humble piece of pocket change became a legend in the numismatic world. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the years, it has gone through several changes, but in 1972, the coin was minted in Denver and stamped with the now famous D mint mark. Millions of these coins were produced, and most people thought nothing of them. They were just ordinary coins used to buy groceries, pay for parking, or maybe saved in a piggy bank. But then something extraordinary happened. One specific 1972 Washington quarter caught the attention of collectors due to a series of unique features and errors. It became clear that this was no ordinary coin. It had rare die varieties and unusual strike and near-perfect condition. Experts began to take notice. It was graded at the highest level possible for a circulated coin, making it a once-in-a-generation find. So what makes this coin so valuable? There are a few reasons. First is rarity. While millions were minted, very few have survived in such pristine condition. This specific coin had virtually no wear on the surface, strong details on both the obverse and reverse, and a sharp mint mark that confirmed its authenticity. It was also free of major scratches and had incredible luster for a coin over 50 years old. All of these qualities combined pushed its value higher and higher. Next is demand. Coin collectors around the world are always searching for the next big find, and when a coin like this shows up, it sparks a frenzy. Bidders from private collections, museums, and investment groups all want a piece of the action. The 1972 Washington quarter has become one of the hottest coins on the market, with some collectors claiming it completes their set and others buying purely as an investment. Now for the jaw-dropping part. Recent auctions have seen this coin listed at values that were once thought impossible for a modern quarter. In early 2025, reports surfaced that one specimen sold for an astonishing $1.13 million. This was not just any sale. It broke records and stunned the coin collecting community. That is a life-changing amount of money for something you might find in your change jar. You might be asking yourself, could I have one of these coins sitting around my house? The answer is maybe. To find out, grab your quarters and look closely. The 1972 D should have a clean and clear D mint mark. Examine the condition. Look for strong details, especially around George Washington's hair and the eagle on the back. If you think you have something special, get it professionally graded. Do not clean it or damage it in any way. That could ruin its value. Even if your quarter is not the million-dollar version, it could still be worth more than face value. Many 1972 D quarters in mint state can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. That is why coin hunting is so exciting. You never know when the next big discovery will be made. So what does this mean for the future of coin collecting? It means the market is hotter than ever. With rising interest in rare coins and historical currency, more people are paying attention. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned collector, stories like the 1972 D quarter inspire us to look closer at the coins we carry every day. You might be holding history in your hands without even realizing it. Before we wrap up, here is a quick tip. Always check your coins before spending them. Pay attention to mint marks, dates, and condition. Educate yourself on known errors and rare varieties. Join coin forums, visit local coin shops, and stay informed about current auctions. Who knows, the next million-dollar coin might be waiting in your wallet right now. We're diving into a coin that's making headlines, sparking curiosity, and sending shockwaves through the numismatic world. That's right, we're talking about the 1993 D Washington quarter-dollar coin. You might think it's just pocket change, But one version of this quarter has reportedly sold for an eye-watering $1.12 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter fetching over $1 million. So what makes it so special? Let's uncover the history, the value, and what to look for. Stay tuned because this could change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's go back in time. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It quickly became a permanent fixture in American coinage due to its iconic design. Fast forward to 1993 and the Denver Mint was still producing these coins in the millions. In fact, over 628 million Washington quarters were struck at the Denver Mint in that year alone. That's right, this coin is far from rare. But here's the twist. Among those hundreds of millions of coins lies a needle in a haystack. A coin with an error so rare and a condition so perfect that it's considered a holy grail by some collectors. The 1993 Washington quarter features the familiar image of George Washington facing left on the obverse side. Designed by John Flanagan, it shows Washington's profile with the word Liberty inscribed above his head. In God We Trust appears to the left while the date 1993 rests below his bust. The mint mark D stands for the Denver Mint and appears to the right of the ribbon in Washington's hair. The reverse side of the coin features the majestic eagle with wings spread wide standing on a bundle of arrows with 2 olive branches below. United States of America arches across the top while the words quarter dollar rest at the bottom. E pluribus unum is tucked between the eagle's wings. So how did a coin that was mass-produced become so valuable? It all comes down to condition and errors. In the world of coin collecting, a mint error can make all the difference. We're talking about things like double dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. In the case of the 1993 quarter, the most valuable version is believed to be a combination of 2 factors, an ultra-rare mint error and a near-perfect grading condition. According to reports, the $1 million version of this quarter was struck on a planchet intended for a different coin, possibly a silver coin or a foreign blank, and the coin was preserved in what's known as MS-68 or higher. MS stands for mint state and the scale goes up to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Now let's address the $1 million question. Literally, why is someone willing to pay over $1 million for a 1993 quarter? According to auction records and numismatic sources, the coin was not only an error strike but also in pristine uncirculated condition, graded by one of the top grading services. Combine that with demand scarcity and the hype factor and you have a perfect storm for a sky-high valuation. While the typical 1993 quarter in circulation is only worth 25 cents, a certified mint error specimen in MS-68 can command thousands and in extremely rare cases over $1 million. This is especially true if the coin is unique or believed to be the only one of its kind. Let's be realistic. Most 1993 quarters are worth just face value. A standard coin in circulated condition won't get you more than 25 cents. However, if your coin is in mint state condition, that means it has no wear and tear and has never been in circulation. It could be worth between $5 and $30 depending on its grade. If your coin shows an error like a double die or misstrike, that's where the value can jump significantly into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But what about the big one? The one worth $1.12 million. That coin's value is not just about the metal or the age. It's about rarity, condition, error, and auction dynamics. Wealthy collectors sometimes pay astronomical prices to own a one-of-a-kind piece. It's not just a coin anymore. It's a trophy asset. Here's the fun part. You might already have a treasure sitting in your pocket change jar or drawer. First, check the date. Is it a 1993 D? Then look at the condition. Is it worn out or still shiny? Flip it under a magnifying glass and look closely for any oddities like doubling, strange textures, or design abnormalities. If you think you've got something special, take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional assessment could be your ticket to life-changing money. To recap, the 1993 Washington quarter is usually worth just face value. But under extremely rare circumstances, it can be worth thousands or even more. The $1 million version is the result of a perfect storm. An ultra-rare mint error, flawless condition, and serious collector interest. So keep your eyes peeled, check your change, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. We explore the rarest and most valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Today's video is all about the 1998 Washington quarter dollar, and how some of these coins are making headlines in the collector world for being worth a jaw-dropping $1.11 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter, 25 cents. Worth more than a luxury house. Let's dive deep into this fascinating story. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, when it was first introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The original design featured a profile of Washington on the obverse or head side, with the iconic bald eagle on the reverse or tail side. Over the decades, the design remained mostly unchanged until 1999, when the U.S. Mint began the famous 50-state quarters program. But before that change came the 1998 P quarter. It marked the final year of the traditional eagle design and therefore holds historical significance as the end of an era. Minted in Philadelphia as denoted by the P mint mark on the front side just beside Washington's ponytail, the 1998 P quarter was part of the regular circulation mintage. In total, over 800 million of these coins were produced. So how does a coin that had such a massive mintage end up being worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and very specific errors. While the average 1998 P quarter you'll find in your change is worth face value, there are rare variants that are like hidden treasure. Some of these coins have minting errors such as double die obverse or reverse, which means the coin's design was struck more than once by the die, resulting in a shadow-like doubling effect on the letters or numbers. Another rare type is the off-center strike, where the coin is not aligned properly during minting and the design appears shifted. Then there are the transitional errors, where a 1998 quarter was mistakenly struck using the dies or planchets meant for other years or coins entirely. These minting mistakes can turn an ordinary quarter into a prized possession. Now let's talk about condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded from poor to mint state 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. A 1998 P Washington quarter in mint state 67 or above with no scratches, full luster, and sharp details can be incredibly valuable, especially if it also features a minting error. These are the coins that have fetched thousands of dollars at auctions. But what about the coin that sold for over $1 million? Yes, that coin exists and its story is extraordinary. The most famous known example is a 1998 P quarter that was not only in pristine condition, graded MS69 by a top grading service, but also had a unique minting error combined with a rare transitional feature. It was struck on an experimental planchet meant for a different denomination. This created an unmatched level of rarity. After years of private sales and verified provenance, it finally sold for $1.11 million in a record-setting numismatic auction. The buyer was a private collector who saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So what is the current market value of the 1998 P quarter? For everyday circulation quarters from that year without any special features, the value is still 25 cents. But if your coin is in brilliant uncirculated condition, it might fetch between $1 and $5. If it has a minor error, it could be worth $20 to $50. A major error or high-grade specimen might bring in hundreds or even thousands. And if by sheer luck you have one of those ultra-rare transitional errors or experimental planchet versions, then you could be holding a coin worth 6 or 7 figures. Here's what to look for in your own pocket change or coin collection. Start by checking the date. Look for 1998 with the P mint mark. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect the lettering and numbers for signs of doubling. Check the edges for unusual textures or incomplete reading. If the coin looks off-center or the metal seems different from a standard quarter, it might be a special strike. And always handle coins by the edge to preserve their condition. If you think you have something special, get it professionally appraised or graded by a trusted third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can confirm authenticity and dramatically increase a coin's market value. So, to sum it up, the 1998 P Washington quarter may seem ordinary, but it holds incredible secrets. From being the last of the classic eagle design to harboring hidden minting errors and rare strikes. This coin proves that numismatic treasures can be found where you least expect them. And in rare cases, like that legendary $1 million sale, they can change lives. We talk all things coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures hiding right in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into the amazing story of the 2002 P Washington quarter. That's right, a regular-looking coin that could be worth up to $1.9 million. That's not a typo. This one coin has stunned collectors around the world, and today we're going to tell you why. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history in American coinage. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, it became a staple of U.S. currency. The obverse, or front, of the coin shows a profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Over the years, the reverse design has changed multiple times. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the State Quarters program, which featured a new reverse design every few months for each of the 50 states. It was one of the most popular coin programs ever created, with millions of Americans collecting these coins straight from circulation. The 2002 Washington quarter featured 5 state designs: Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi, all struck that year. Today we're focusing on the one struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2002, coin number P1816. A designation used by some collectors and dealers to refer to this specific piece when discussing rare die errors and variations. Now you might be wondering, what could make a modern coin from 2002 worth nearly $2 million? The answer lies in a rare mint error that occurred during production. Only a handful of these error coins are known to exist. The most valuable versions of the 2002 P Washington quarter include one with a dramatic double strike error, off-center design, and a rare transitional planchet issue. That means the coin was accidentally struck on a planchet or coin blank, intended for another type of coin, possibly a silver planchet or even a foreign coin blank used by mistake. These kinds of errors are not supposed to leave the mint. Most are caught and destroyed, but in rare cases they escape into circulation, and when they do, they can become legendary. The specific 2002 P error coin we're talking about was verified and graded by one of the major coin grading services. It is believed to be the only one of its kind with this combination of errors, making it essentially one of one. In a surprising turn of events, one of these coins was auctioned off to a private collector for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. That's right, a coin minted in 2002, less than 25 years ago, selling for more than a brand new Ferrari or even a house in many parts of the country. The coin had been sitting in a small private collection for years before the owner realized what they had. It was then sent to a grading company, authenticated, and later listed for sale at a high-end auction house that specializes in rare U.S. coins. After intense bidding from collectors around the globe, the coin sold for the incredible price of $1.9 million. What makes the coin worth so much is the combination of extreme rarity, the error type, and the fact that it's in near-perfect condition. These factors are the magic formula in coin collecting: rarity, demand, and condition. So how do you know if you might have one of these valuable 2002 P quarters? First, look for the P mint mark, which indicates it was struck in Philadelphia. Then check the design, compare it closely to normal state quarters from that year. Is anything off-center? Do you notice any doubling, strange lettering, or unusual metal color? Hold the coin under a magnifying glass and look at the edges. Does it seem thicker than normal? Is the edge smooth or missing the normal ridges? Collectors also report that the valuable error coin feels slightly heavier and has a distinct sound when dropped on a surface compared to regular quarters. That might sound strange, but sometimes metal composition errors can result in different sound resonance. If you think you have a rare 2002 P Washington quarter, do not try to clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Instead, place it in a soft holder or coin flip and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These professionals can confirm if your coin is the real deal and assign it a grade which dramatically affects its market value. Even if your coin isn't worth $1 million, there are many 2002 P quarters that still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars due to lesser errors or high mint state conditions. It's always worth checking your pocket change, so the next time you get change at the store or dig through your old coin jar, take a closer look. You never know when a small piece of metal in your hand could be worth more than a luxury car. The 2002 P1816 Washington quarter might look ordinary, but in the world of coin collecting, it's a legend. We're diving deep into the mysterious and often misunderstood world of rare coins with one coin that's been creating a storm in the collector community. I'm talking about the legendary and elusive 2004 P1846 Washington quarter dollar. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with 2 historic years connected to it and a story that might just blow your mind. Some say this coin is worth as much as $1.8 million in today's market. But is that really true? Let's explore the facts, myths, and market trends behind this unique piece of American currency. First things first, let's break down what this coin actually is. The Washington quarter has been a staple in American pockets since 1932, featuring the profile of George Washington on the obverse side. But in 2004, the United States Mint released a special series of quarters as part of the State Quarters program. These quarters honored individual states with unique reverse designs, and they were released over a span of 10 years from 1999 to 2008. The year 2004 specifically featured the states of Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. These coins were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and the mint mark can be found just below the motto on the obverse side. Now, here's where things get really interesting. There's a strange buzz about a coin labeled as the 2004 P1846 Washington quarter. At first glance, this appears to be a misprint or a dual date error. The 1846 date obviously doesn't belong on a modern quarter. So where did this rumor begin? Some collectors believe that this is a reference to a die clash or mistruck error, where part of an older die, possibly from a commemorative or test strike, was used unintentionally, imprinting the numbers in a way that makes it appear to read 1846. Others claim this is a total fabrication, a mix-up between two separate coins being discussed in forums, or even a hoax created for clicks and views. Still, the legend persists, and like many tales in the world of numismatics, legends often fuel demand, and demand fuels value. So, how did this coin allegedly climb in value to $1.8 million? Well, it's important to know that coin value is driven by three things: rarity, condition, and demand. If a coin is unique or has a significant error that is confirmed by reputable grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, it can command astronomical prices at auction. We've seen coins like the 1943 copper penny sell for over $1 million. We've seen the 1933 double eagle get auctioned for nearly $20 million. So, the idea of a quarter reaching $1 million+ valuation isn't impossible, but it does need to be backed by documented evidence and real rarity. Reports suggest that a version of this 2004 P quarter with the Phantom 1846 imprint has been sold in private sale circles or has appeared in auction listings with staggering starting bids. Some claim it was found in a roll of uncirculated quarters. Others say it was a one-off mint error never intended for circulation. If such a coin exists, it would need to be authenticated, and no confirmed public record from major auction houses has verified this exact coin selling for $1.8 million. Still, that hasn't stopped collectors from hunting it down like buried treasure. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the actual 2004 P Washington quarters from the State series. In general, these coins are very common. Billions were produced, and most are worth face value unless they're in pristine mint condition or contain specific mint errors. The most valuable variants of the 2004 quarters are those with dramatic die errors. For instance, the famous Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf, which can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Now, if a 2004 P quarter somehow bears markings or features from a different century, and if that anomaly is confirmed by numismatic experts, we're in entirely new territory. That's when the six-figure or seven-figure valuations could come into play. Remember, coin collectors pay a premium for mystery, story, and exclusivity. A one-of-a-kind misprint with a time-twisting error might just check all those boxes. So what should you do if you think you have a 2004 quarter with strange markings? First, don't clean it. Don't alter it. Don't try to enhance the features. Take it straight to a professional numismatist or send it in to a reputable grading company. They'll examine the coin under magnification, perform tests to determine authenticity, and give it a formal grade. If it's a legitimate mint error or undocumented anomaly, you might be sitting on a goldmine. Let's talk about the current market. In 2025, coin collecting has seen a huge surge in interest thanks to online auction platforms and social media buzz. Rare coin prices are rising, and more people are learning to check their change. The average 2004 P quarter in circulation is still worth 25 cents, maybe 50 if it's in good condition. But if you've got something different, something that looks like 1846 or has an unusual strike, double die, off-center image, or retained cud, you could be holding something very special. And here's the final word. Is the 2004 P 1846 Washington quarter really worth $1.8 million? We can't say definitively without public auction records or verified grading reports. But in the world of collectibles, belief often precedes proof. Coins with a story, even a rumored one, can skyrocket in value. Whether it's real or myth, the hunt continues. And maybe, just maybe, one day someone will walk into a coin shop with pocket change and walk out with $1 million story. So the next time you get a quarter back in change, take a closer look. Because history might just be hiding in plain sight. We have an absolutely fascinating episode lined up for coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters alike. We are diving deep into the mysterious and intriguing world of the so-called 2008 D1912 Washington $quarter coin, a coin that some claim has sold or is valued as high as $1.7 million. But is it real? What makes it so special? And could you be holding one of these in your own collection? Stick around to find out everything you need to know about this incredible coin. Section 1. The history behind the coin. First off, let's talk about what the 2008 D Washington quarter is and what makes this story so puzzling. The Washington quarter design was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Before that, from 1892 to 1916, the United States Mint struck barber quarters. So here's the twist. Some people are reporting coins labeled or believed to be from 2008 with elements dated back to 1912. Now, if you know your U.S. coin history, that doesn't line up. In 1912, the Washington quarter did not exist, so how can a coin be marked as a 2008 D with a 1912 reference? That's where things get really interesting. Some of these coins are believed to be error coins, or perhaps special fantasy strikes, or even modern creations that accidentally or intentionally merged older design elements. A more likely possibility is that there are counterfeit or novelty coins being mistaken for genuine mint errors. But in the rare world of coin collecting, the more bizarre the error, the more valuable the coin. Section 2. Why is this coin valued at $1.7 million? Let's break down this jaw-dropping valuation. The claim that this coin is worth $1.7 million is making the rounds on collector forums, YouTube videos, and even some online auction listings. Now, to be clear, no major auction house has yet confirmed a sale of this coin at that value, but here's why such a number isn't entirely impossible. First, extreme rarity. If a coin is verified to be a legitimate mint error or an unauthorized but genuine die strike that slipped through the mint, its rarity skyrockets. Second, collector demand. Coin collectors are known to pay enormous sums for one-of-a-kind items. And third, historical anomalies. If a coin appears to carry two dates from vastly different periods and that anomaly is unexplained but authenticated, the numismatic world gets very excited. But this brings up an important point. Authentication is everything. Section 3. Authenticating the coin before you run off to cash in your coin jar. Let's talk about verification. If you believe you found a 2008 D Washington quarter with a 1912 date or unusual features, the first step is to have it examined by a reputable grading service. We're talking about PCGS or NGC. These are the gold standards in coin authentication. They will analyze the coin's metal composition, mint marks, strike features, and wear patterns. They'll also determine whether it's a genuine U.S. mint error, a privately altered coin, or a modern fantasy piece. Once graded and slabbed, a coin's real value becomes much clearer. And if it turns out to be unique, yes, you might be looking at a 6- or 7-figure payday. Section 4. Current market value. Now, as of this recording, there's no officially confirmed 2008 D1912 Washington quarter that has sold for exactly $1.7 million. However, rare quarter errors from the state quarter series have sold for tens of thousands, and some extremely rare mint errors across other denominations have crossed the $1 million threshold. For example, the 1943 copper penny and the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle are legendary examples. So could a strange hybrid like this reach the same level? Possibly. If authenticated and proven to be a legitimate and unique error. Collectors are always looking for the next big thing, and sometimes values are driven more by story and mystery than metal content. Closing THOUGHTS. So what's the takeaway from today's deep dive? The 2008 D1912 Washington $quarter coin is a fascinating case study in how rumors, rarity, and a little mystery can combine to drive massive coin valuations. Whether it's real or not, whether it's worth a couple bucks or a couple million, it's clear that coins like these continue to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. If you think you've spotted one, don't hesitate. Get it verified and graded, because you never know, you might be holding a small piece of metal that's worth more than a house. If you are holding on to a handful of change or just got back from the store and found a shiny quarter in your pocket, then you might want to stop and take a closer look. Today we are talking about a modern coin that is gaining massive attention from collectors around the world. The 2016 Washington $quarter coin has stirred up quite a buzz online, and some people claim it could be worth up to $1.5 million. That's right, one single quarter potentially worth more than most cars. Or even some houses. Stick around because we're diving deep into the full story of this coin, its history, minting errors, and what you really need to look for to strike it rich. Part 1: History of the 2016 Washington Quarter. Let's start with a little history lesson. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the decades, it has seen several design changes, but one thing remains the same: it honors the first president of the United States. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which later evolved into the America the Beautiful Quarter series. This program featured unique reverse designs, celebrating national parks and sites from all across the country. The 2016 quarters were part of the 7th year of the America the Beautiful program and featured 5 different park designs. Now, the 2016 quarter in question specifically refers to the version minted in Denver. The D Mint mark tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint, which is one of the primary facilities of the United States Mint. Part 2, the Cumberland Gap DSIG. In one of the quarters released in 2016 features the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park located in Kentucky. The reverse of this coin shows a frontiersman gazing toward the west, symbolizing America's push into uncharted territory during the era of westward expansion. The text on the reverse reads, "First doorway to the west and Cumberland Gap, Kentucky," along with the year 2016 and E pluribus unum. The obverse of the coin still features the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions "Liberty in God We Trust" and "United States of America," along with the denomination $quarter. Part 3, the $1 million claims and why they exist. Now let's get into the money talk. A lot of people online have been claiming that this coin is worth a staggering $1.5 million. How can a coin that was just made in 2016 and has a face value of 25 cents be worth such a fortune? Well, here's the truth. While most 2016 Washington quarters are only worth their face value, there are a few extremely rare versions that have dramatic minting errors. These errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, missing clad layers, and other unusual features that happen during the production process at the mint. Collectors go wild for coins that have rare or extreme mint errors because they are one of a kind or very limited in number. In some rare cases, a coin with a combination of unique traits can fetch an astronomical price at auction, especially if it is in pristine condition and has been certified by a top grading service. One of the reasons why the $1.5 million figure gets thrown around is due to speculative online posts, social media hype, and sometimes misinterpretation of auction listings or private sales. Some YouTube videos and forums have exaggerated the value for clicks or headlines, so it's very important to separate the hype from the actual numismatic facts. Part 4, what to look for in your 2016 quarter. So what should you actually look for when examining your 2016 quarter? Here are some key signs that your coin might be valuable. First, inspect the coin under a magnifying glass and look for doubling on the lettering, especially in God We Trust and Liberty. This would indicate a possible double die variety. Second, check for any unusual surface features like missing letters, cracks, bumps, or blistering, which might be caused by die breaks or planchet flaws. Third, check if the coin has been struck off center or appears to have a rotation. These kinds of errors are relatively rare and are highly collectible. Fourth, examine the coin for missing clad layers, which might make it appear copper-colored on one side. This error is highly sought after. Lastly, check the coin's overall condition. Coins that are graded mint state 65 or higher can bring in much more money than those with scratches or signs of circulation. Part 5, the true market value in 2025. Now let's talk about the actual current market value of the 2016 Washington quarter. As of today in 2025, a standard circulated 2016 quarter with no errors is worth exactly 25 cents. That's right, no added value in everyday condition. However, high-grade examples that are certified MS67 or above by grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for anywhere from $10 to $200 depending on demand. If you have a 2016 quarter with a major error that has been authenticated and graded, you might be looking at values ranging from several hundred to several $1,000s. And yes, in extremely rare cases with high drama at auction, some coins have been listed or sold at shockingly high prices, though these are the exception, not the rule. Part 6, final thoughts. Should you cash in or hold? Owen, so what does all this mean for you if you have a 2016 Washington quarter sitting in your change jar or coin folder, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Use a magnifying glass, do some research, and maybe even get it professionally graded if you suspect something special. Remember that while most of these coins are common pocket change, there are always exceptions in the world of numismatics. A 1 in a million error can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure worth thousands or even more, but always be wary of exaggerated claims online and get your coin checked by real experts before jumping to conclusions. We are diving deep into the astonishing story of the 2018 D Washington $quarter coin and why it has shocked collectors and investors alike, with a reported market value reaching as high as $1.4 million. You heard that right. This seemingly ordinary coin, minted in Denver in 2018, is turning heads and breaking records. If you have one of these coins sitting in your pocket jar or drawer, you might be holding on to a hidden fortune. Make sure to watch till the end, because we will reveal what to look for, how to identify a rare version, and why this coin is commanding such a high price tag in today's market. Section 1. The origin of the 2018 D Washington quarter. Let's start with a little background. The 2018 D Washington quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. Each year, the U.S. Mint released 5 new designs honoring national parks and historic sites across the country. The D Mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities used by the U.S. Mint for circulating coin production. In 2018, the quarters featured locations such as Pictured Rocks in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyagers in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. These coins were circulated in millions, but among them a few rare and special varieties slipped through the cracks. Section 2. What makes the 2018 D quarter so valuable? You might be wondering, how can a coin minted so recently become worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and minting error. Let's break it down. Number 1. Rarity. While millions of 2018 quarters were produced, only a tiny fraction were struck with specific minting errors that make them incredibly desirable to collectors. These include double dies, off-center strikes, and partial collar errors. Number 2. Condition. A coin's grade or condition plays a massive role in determining its value. A flawless coin with a perfect strike and nowhere, known as MS-70 in professional grading, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars or more if combined with a rare error. And number 3. Provenance. In some extremely rare cases, a coin may come from a known hoard or collection, which boosts its historical significance and market appeal. Section 3. The coin that sold for $1.4 million in 2023, a near flawless 2018 D Washington $quarter coin, was auctioned for a staggering $1.4 million. What made this coin so special? Well, it featured a dramatic double die obverse, a type of minting error where the image is stamped twice, creating a ghost-like doubling effect, particularly visible on the motto "In God We Trust" and the word liberty. Additionally, the coin was graded MS-70 by a top-tier grading service, meaning it had no visible imperfections under magnification. Its provenance traced back to a prominent coin collector who had been searching for minting anomalies in modern coinage for over a decade. The buyer was a private investor who believed that modern error coins are the next frontier in numismatics and was willing to pay top dollar for what is currently considered a unicorn of contemporary U.S. coinage. Section 4. How to identify a rare 2018 D quarter. Now, you're probably asking yourself, do I have one of these $1 million coins? Here's what to look for. Number 1. Check for the D Mint mark, which will be located on the obverse near Washington's ponytail. Number 2. Examine the coin under magnification. Look closely at the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Any doubling or ghost images could indicate a double die error. Number 3. Check the reverse side for unusual patterns, misalignments, or off-center strikes. Also inspect the coin's edge. Some error coins have an incomplete collar, which affects the way the edge appears. And number 4. Consider getting your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. If it's in high condition and has a rare error, it could be worth a small fortune. Section 5. The market for modern error coins. In recent years, the coin collecting world has seen a major surge in interest for modern mint errors. While classic coins like Morgan dollars and early American cents still command attention, younger collectors are turning their eyes to post-2000 coinage, especially coins with dramatic flaws and high grades. Auction houses have reported record-breaking prices for coins that just a few years ago were considered too modern to matter. The 2018 D quarter is now part of that movement, serving as a flagship example of how new coins can deliver massive returns. Section 6. Final thoughts and what you should do next. So what can you do right now? Number 1. Go through your change jars, piggy banks, and any quarter rolls you may have received from the bank or local store. Look specifically for 2018 quarters with a D Mint mark. Number 2. Invest in a good magnifier and learn to spot doubling and strike errors. There are plenty of videos and guides online To help you identify valuable features, number 3, consider joining a local coin club or online community where you can share photos and get feedback on your finds. And finally, if you do find something interesting, send it to a reputable grading company. A small investment in grading could turn a quarter into a fortune. Outro. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the $1,000,2018 D Washington $quarter coin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more videos on rare coins and valuable collectibles, and let us know in the comments if you found any error coins or rare pieces in your own collection. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and may your next coin flip bring you a fortune.